Hi guys, long time no see. I know my hair's a mess, it's very late here, but I'm just here to say I'm thinking about doing a challenge where I read 25 books in 30 days or something like that, or in 31 days. I'm trying to see as many books I can read in December. I've done these kind of challenges before and I'm usually semi-successful. It often requires me to A, be very dedicated, and also B, rely a lot on short non-fiction and fiction. And so I figured I might as well post these little updates as I go along and we'll see how well I do. This isn't by no way an admission of, oh yes, I'm absolutely going to smash it. We're just going to see where this takes me. As you can see, I've not yet decorated for Christmas. Just not feeling it as much this year. But I have bought a CD player, which I am in love with. Currently in there is Espresso. No, Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. But I just bought, sorry, excuse the noise, this. So I've got a bit of Bublé that I'll start playing from today. Today's December 1st, so maybe I'll start feeling more Christmassy come today. Anyway, I've got 2 advent calendars this year. One's a candle and one's a jewelry calendar. I'll insert the clips now and then I'll talk about the book that I read. I might not have any chocolate advent calendars, but I do have 2 other ones that I've been saving just for this occasion. Today is day 1, so let's get to opening. So this one is a candle advent calendar, which is quite nice. So here is day 1. Oh, not very elegant of me. Ooh. Oh, it doesn't tell me what it is. It doesn't tell me what it is, which I feel a bit cheated by. Can I look on the back? Oh, so I've looked on the back and there's only 3 free candle flavors, which is a real bummer. I'm sorry to start this off as such a bummer, but yeah, so this is sugar cookie. This is a terrible advent calendar, guys. It's terrible, but you know what, it will do the job. So happy 1st of December. I need to get a Christmas version of this, but for now this works. So advent calendar number 2 now. This one is a jewelry one. It's another cheap advent calendar. I probably should have invested a bit more if I was gonna be like, oh, let me get advent calendars that aren't chocolate this year. I should have then, you know, pulled out my purse, but I didn't. And I think it's gonna show. Why do I say that? Because this is all silver and I don't really wear silver jewelry, as you can probably see, so it's going to be kind of interesting to have an advent calendar that's only silver jewelry, but maybe it will challenge me. Here's day 1. Oh, it's gold. I'm such an idiot. For some reason I thought this was all silver, but no, it's not. How fun. This is so cute. This is so cute. Oh no, I'm happy again. I'm happy again. Have a look. How cute are they? Now, I'm not usually a stud person, but I do have a second piercing in one ear only. Ask me why I did that. I don't know. But point being, this could be really cute in my second stud. Please ignore my very messy hair. We're about to do a close-up on the earring. Have a look at that. Isn't she so cute? That is so cute. I love that. I've got a little bow. I've got a little bow as a nose ring. It looks a bit funny, but might as well try it out. I am going immediately back to my nose ring, but it was worth a shot. So anyway, day 1, success. So the book that I read was A Dangerously High Threshold for Pain by Imani Perry. I'm not familiar with Imani Perry. I don't know her work. I'm not really, I just don't know of her, which some of you might be more familiar with her. She's an academic, she's a writer, and now that I've read this book, there is now a book of hers that's coming out in January 2025 that I am really interested in. What is this book about? This is a micro memoir, as someone put in a review on Goodreads, and I love that terminology. I am going to continue using it. Thank you very much for that. So as I said, it's a micro memoir, and in this book she's talking about her experiences with lupus and Graves' disease, or SLE is the official acronym for the lupus that she has, right? And I picked this up because not only is it short, so it's been on my radar for a while, but because it's short, I picked it up today. Why was it on my radar? Because I am intimately familiar with lupus, because I have a very close family member who has lupus, SLE, lupus. And so this book was really interesting for me to read in terms of it mirrored a lot of the conversations that I've had about lupus with my family member. It was very illuminating also, though, to see someone else go through it. This book is very, very lyrical. You can see that the author has a real love of language and words in the way that this book is crafted, the way that she puts together her sentences. I'm often taken aback. I'm often listening and I'm like, wow, that is very evocative. I think that's the number one word that I would use to describe this book. It's very evocative. And when she's talking about chronic pain, I think it's even more useful that she's got such a web of language, because it's hard for someone who doesn't have any chronic illnesses or chronic pain to understand, empathize with that level of pain and what it's like to experience that. And so I think with her beautiful language, and not only is it beautiful but effective language, it helps to at least give the reader a bit of an insight into what it perhaps was like for her. So I loved that. I think that for me, it was just a little bit too short, which is kind of ironic because the whole idea is that I picked this up because it was short. But for me, I think I would have enjoyed a much longer, like a full length memoir about it. However, I am cautious in saying that because that requires more of the author. That's more demand on their time, their energy, and also asking them to be more vulnerable, right? By asking them to do a full length memoir, I'm asking them to bear themselves more, and that's not something that I really feel like one should ask of someone, but it's like a privilege. That's how I feel sometimes when I read memoirs. It's a privilege for someone to open up and share certain things, right? So there's a bit of a dichotomy there between me saying I want it to be longer, but also I respect the author enough to say, if this is what you could give, I'm happy with it. And I am happy. I think that this book does exactly what she wants it to do. And I think that, to me, it's the number one book I'm going to recommend to people when I'm trying to talk about lupus going forward, or trying to get them to understand, or just in general for anyone who wants to get a bit more of a personal look through as to what lupus is like. Obviously, this is a personal memoir, so it's not a list by list of all of the different symptoms and medical histories, explanations of lupus, no. But I think that whilst there is a time and a place for the medical knowledge on lupus, there's also a time and a place for personal testimony, and that's what this book is. It's a personal testimony of Imani and her experiences and her life experiences with lupus. So overall, I'm really glad that I'm doing this challenge, because it prompted me to read this book, a book that I've had in my library for a very, very long time. And it's just been sitting there gathering dust. And because I wanted to try and do the challenge, I went and I had a look through my library and I saw it, and it was the perfect time. This is a book for me that I think I'm going to revisit. I think that the problem with me doing these check-ins is that I'm supposed to talk about them quite soon after I've read the books, but I'm more of an introspective reviewer. I like to take time between when I've read it to speak about it, because I often change how I feel. I don't find that my views immediately after reading something is necessarily 100% representative of how I'm going to feel in the future. So I struggle with that. But I do think that this book, I'm going to sit with it, and I actually think I would love to reread it. I think this is a book I'm going to reread and just sit with and hear more again. I've not really spoken about her as a black woman, but obviously that does come up, her being a black woman and struggling with this chronic illness and the medical racism and medical sexism that is in this book. I didn't bring it up because I did see some reviews who were really, really wanting the book to talk about medical racism and medical sexism, and I can understand, like, wanting more on that, and I can understand where that desire comes from. But in another breath, I also think there are so many books that discuss medical racism and medical sexism, and I would implore them to read those books. And I would also say that as this is a mini memoir, there's only so much you can cover in such a short period of time. So yeah, if I do agree with them, but I think that's also, again, them kind of yearning for more than a mini memoir can give. But obviously she does touch upon her medical racism and medical sexism that she faces. So if that is something that interests you, then yeah, pick this up. I'm going to leave you on a couple of quotes from the reviews, actually. Less quotes from the actual book, but quotes from the reviews, because I do find that reviews can be quite helpful, especially in a case where I only just finished reading this book. It helps me articulate what I want to say. One short review that I think summarizes a lot of what I'm saying is, I related a lot to what she was saying as someone with illnesses myself, really well articulated and pretty eye-opening. This was a quick yet incredible listen. The author was vulnerable in her recounting of events within her health journey, while also giving visibility to those on similar journeys. I'm grateful to have found someone who is able to put words to things I cannot. I think this would be a very helpful read for loved ones of chronically ill individuals, as this lack of words is not an uncommon experience among us. Finally, this one. Never mind the disabled girl crying before bed, feeling seen. So pick up this Audible original if you have Audible, and if you don't have Audible original, that's a real shame. That's a real shame. Not that I'm trying to encourage you to use Audible, but it's a real shame that that's where this book is accessible. But yeah, would highly recommend, and I'll see you soon.